Okay, you guys, hello, and let's get right into it. I had two pillows that were exactly the same. I had fabric that I had purchased a little over a year ago, and I want to say it was $4 for 2 yards. I figured out my measurements, cut my measurements to size, pinned it up, and then I took it to the sewing machine. I then wanted to make my corners rounded, so I took little triangular markings on the pillowcase and then I cut those off. Well, I sewed them first and then I cut the excess fabric off. Secondly, I knew that I wanted to do some kind of wrapping on the pillow, not your typical type of wrapping. So I had also a yard of fabric that I purchased probably almost a year ago rather, from Walmart. If anyone knows, you can get those Waverly strips of fabric for like anywhere it ranges from $4 and like 50 cents on up. You pick. There's a UPC code so you can check it out for yourself. So I took that fabric and folded it lengthwise, took it to the ironing board and ironed it. That crease from ironing I used as a guide to cut all the way down. I took the shorter ends of that piece of fabric and I took it to the sewing machine and sewed those ends together. I then took that strip of fabric, folded it in half, ironed it again, and used that center crease again to cut all the way down the middle. So I had two separate pieces for each pillow. However, I needed to sew each edge on those strips because this cotton fabric does fray like crazy. You don't have to use a sewing machine to close your hems. You can use either fabric glue or an item called Stitch Witchery. Looks like it comes on like a tape roll. Additionally, I would like to say be aware this fabric is a lint magnet, so you would constantly have to be removing the magnet lint, especially if it is a dark fabric. So guys, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my brush right alongside the edges. And as you see, I just want to give it a hint of the black along the edges. Okay, so that's all I want. And finally, you guys, in the next few clips, I think it's pretty self-explanatory what I've done to complete the pillow. I want to input here that it can be used as a reversible pillow. The opposite side would be a little bit more plain in that if you don't want all that embellishment, and then if you're feeling like you want a little something something the next day, you can flip it over to that side as well. Lastly, I do want to share that I did individually sew on each of those beads, and I wanted the thread to not be seen, so I did use black, believe it or not. And then last but not least, I know we are all allotted an amount of time in our lives, and I certainly don't take it lightly that you have stopped on my channel to share some of those minutes with me by watching my video. You guys stay safe and as healthy as you possibly can. Bye-bye.